You spent years preparing for this season.
Free Press is reporting the Big Ten will cancel the season.
There won't be any college football as far as the Big Ten, and it sounds like eventually
that they are guarding themselves against liability.
This is the single most important moment in the history of college football.
What did you do when football took a back seat? You spoke out for justice. You used your voice and your platform. You led by example.
You got Jim Harbaugh, the coach of Michigan football, marching today. That's not something that was happening 5-6 years ago.
It is you, the young folks, that have courage and the will to challenge the status quo.
You stayed together when the future was unclear. You stayed ready until it was time to return. It's time. Time to show what you're capable of. Time to compete with one another. Time to be victors valiant. Cause you stay vigilant. You stayed focused. And you know what they say about those who stay. That's how champions are made.
That's right, man. Welcome back to another episode of the It's Just Different podcast, man. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell for any future content that will be coming to this channel. And yes, it doesn't feel like fall unless Michigan football is here, and we are back this week, this Saturday. First game of the season against the Minnesota Gophers in Minnesota, 7:30 p.m. primetime game. College game day is going to be there. It's going to be, it's no fans, but this is it. The opener is going to be very juiced up. Guys have been practicing in the off season for so long. They finally get to play, so it's going to be exciting, man. I'm very, very pumped for this season, because there's a lot of changes to the Michigan Wolverines team, and we will get into it this week. We will talk about the schedule. We will talk about predictions for the game. I'll do a prediction for the game. I'll do a prediction for the schedule, a prediction for the season. And what's my forecast for this season? What do I think of this team's future this season? With a lot of new phases, a lot of new things going on. But today, I want to get right into it. Jim Harbaugh had his press conference today, and he said a few interesting things. He basically named the starting offensive line. A lot of people thought that there was going to be some new faces, and nobody thought who the new faces would be. A lot of guys, a lot of college football analysts is trying to figure out who's going to be starting this Michigan's offensive line, losing a lot of guys to the NFL. They're not going to be that good. We have one of the best O-line coaches, if not the best in the country, in Ed Warner. So I don't know why everybody's even in the panic mode, I would say. But hey, man, Jim Harbaugh talked about these starting five that you will see this Saturday on the offensive line. And it goes left tackle, Ryan Hayes, left guard, Chuck Filiaga, Chuck Filiaga. I remember watching him in the U.S. Army game when he committed to Michigan. Finally get some time playing behind some good talent. Center, Andrew Vestardis. Right guard, Andrew Stuber. If you know, he went out with the ACL injury last year, didn't play. And then right tackle, Jalen Mayfield, who decided to come back. So that's our offensive line. And I can honestly say the right side is going to have no issues. Center's going to have no issues. Left tackle, no issues. I'm looking at left guard, and I say that because a few weeks ago, there was a lot of talk about who would be the left guard, and I guess on this last week or two, Sup Filiaga made some room between him and whoever was the backup. I don't have the actual roster in front of me right now, but I was just going to talk about the offensive line, which Harbaugh talked about today, and also the wide receivers corps, which he also mentioned. That was another big thing about what we were going to do after losing those three guys. He talked today that Nico Collins is not on the football team at this moment. He didn't say whether or not he will be back. He just said that he's not doing football activities at this moment. He's not on the football team. So he doesn't have an idea whether or not Nico's going to come back. He hasn't heard from Nico. But at this moment in time, it seems like if a guy, he made an announcement that he was coming back, but he never made an announcement when the pandemic hit, when he said he was not going to return. He never made an actual announcement that he's not going to return. It was just I guess he had signed with the agent, and so a lot of things have been going on. But when you read the tea leaves, a lot of insiders that I follow and information on one of the paid websites that I'm subscribed to, sounds like he has not really informed anybody whether or not he's not going to come. And honestly, if you ask me why he hasn't said anything, it's because he doesn't know. I think he doesn't know. I think he really wants to return, but he's not sure whether or not it's worth it. I'm not sure where they're going to have him drafted in the NFL. I think Nico's going to be a really good receiver in the NFL. I just don't know what his rating or his rank would be. But it sounds like he's confused of whether or not he should come back and join his teammates, or just sit this one out and be fine with not returning back to Ann Arbor. And look, man, that's either decision is up to him. We are dealing with a different circumstances this year in this pandemic, this coronavirus, man. It's all about safety, and if you feel like it's not worth it to come back for a shortened season, that is your prerogative. No one should be upset at anybody who's choosing them over anything else, and that's okay, and that's fine with me. But the cupboard is not bare. Yes, we don't have Tariq Black, who's at Texas. Yes, we don't have Donovan Peoples-Jones, who's playing for the Cleveland Browns. Yes, Nico Collins is out, but we have some guys, man, and I am here to let you know, if you're worried about the receiving core, worry no more. We talked all last year about speed and space. Well, understand something. You can't run speed and space unless you have speed, unless you have your guys. And Josh Gaddis, remember, Josh Gaddis came in last year, the new OC, first time being an offensive coordinator in his career, took over the wide receiving core. We didn't have his type of guys. Well, last year we ended up having Mike Sangerstill and then Giles Jackson, who both had great camps, but Giles Jackson ended up showing more explosiveness throughout the season, and he's looking to have another big year this year. More contribution from him this season. But in this recruiting class, we brought in some guys who are real speed and space guys. So we have we have Cornelius Johnson, who was already on the roster, but again, he was behind those receivers, couldn't get on the field that much. He did. I think he scored a touchdown last year against Michigan State, but he should be starting alongside Ronnie Bell. Now, here's the thing about Ronnie Bell. People say Ronnie Bell, I think Ronnie Bell had less, I think him and Olave from Ohio State were like neck and neck about yards last year. So for people to say that Michigan didn't have a receiver that was really good last year, Ronnie Bell was atop of the Big Ten standings in yards last year. Didn't have any touchdowns, because he didn't have those deep plays on the field like Ohio State ran. Ronnie Bell was right there in receiving yards in the Big Ten. He will be back. Cornelius Johnson is back. We have Giles Jackson's back. I just talked about him. Mike Sangerstill, I just talked about him. But we have Roman Wilson, a speedster from Hawaii. This kid You keep your eyes on this kid. He is a flat out burner. Flat out burner. He will get the job done. Along with AJ Henning, I watched his commitment on Twitter when he decided to commit to Michigan. He left he had a visit. He left, and then in the middle of his trip back home, decided to turn around and come back and tell Michigan that I'm committing. This guy is probably in the same mode of Giles Jackson, but he's explosive, just like explosive and fast. Get the guys the balls in their hand and let them run speed and space. And then, of course, I cannot talk about the receivers and the offensive line if I don't mention the guy who's going to be throwing the ball and the guy that they're going to be protecting. Joe Milton. It is Joe Milton's season. Yes, we've been waiting for all the hype about Joe Milton, the arm that's become a myth. How many yards can he throw the football? Well, we will all find out on Saturday night. But you don't have to just listen to me or anybody else online or any analyst. His own teammates, the defensive guys, Carlos Kemp Sr., Josh Ross Sr., both came out today and say, look, this offense is going to be explosive. Like Joe Milton and the way he's throwing the ball on the field and the way he's finding these guys and the speed that they have, and then the running backs, I haven't gotten to that side of the offense yet. They are going to be explosive. The running back room is deep. You got Hassan Haskins back. You got Zach Charbonnet. Now, Zach Charbonnet was hurt early in the season last year, if you don't remember. Never was himself. Josh Gaddis even admitted it. He never was himself after being hurt. But he's back. He's the guy that they noticed he was on tape when they recruited him. He's explosive. We have another great freshman in Blake Corum, who was a beast. We have, oh my God, man. His name is actually leaving my mind right now. Chris Evans is back. I'm sorry. Chris Evans will be back. I think he's a senior. I think Chris Evans is a senior, and he's getting high praise from everybody now. This running back room is deep. This running back room is legit. This running back room is explosive, powerful. This might be the best backs Harbaugh has had on his roster since he's been here. And out of the backfield, they're going to be really, really good. This offense is going to be great. I'm calling it right now. This offense should easily score 28 points a game, if not more. Like, they're that good. They're that good. But you have to see them put the work in. You know, it's enough talking. Let's see these guys actually do it. First game this season at Minnesota, we got to start off fast. Last year we started off slow. You know, it was not a good opponent, but you know, when you start off slow, things just kind of trickle down. We gotta start fast. We already know Minnesota's going to throw the ball and try to exploit our young defense, which I'll get into our defense on the next video, probably tomorrow. But it's all about the offense right now, man. It's all about the offense. That offensive line, those running backs, and those receivers. I didn't even talk about the tight ends, Nick Eubanks, Luke Schumacher, Eric All. These are really good tight ends, very athletic tight ends, very good pass-catching tight ends. So it's going to be weapons all over the field for Joe Milton. It's all about what Joe Milton can do. You know, it's all about what Joe Milton can do. Enough of the talk. Let's see what Joe Milton's all about. And we have 5 days, guys. 5 days till game day. And we'll see what happens. The rest of the week, I'll be talking about the defense. I'll be talking about the schedule. And I will make my prediction for the game. Not only the game, but the season. And I will give you my hot take for the season. I've been waiting on this all off season. I have a hot take for what I think this team is going to be this season. Harbaugh's 6th year, I believe. I'm ready. I think this is the year for Harbaugh. I think this is the team. You know, beginning from top to bottom, I think this team is very, very deep. But again, I'll give you my prediction of the season sometime during the week. Michigan football is here. It's game day week. Michigan, Minnesota, man. Go blue. Hail to the victors, baby. Peace.